campaign bills, food safety bills that are up on the Hill. The most recent version of the bill that I saw had a lot of provisions in there to have the National Organic Program work with the various implementers of that legislation, if that legislation comes to pass, to make sure that any of the requirements do not violate the National Organic Standards, so that there were allowances for practices, the food safety protection practices that organic farmers are currently doing, to be part of that, so that there wouldn't be any conflict between that legislation and the current standards. So there's a number of different protections in there that they've put in that specifically address organic standards.
So a special guest standing by all the way from Washington, D.C.
Mr. Miles McAvoy is the Deputy Administrator of the National Organic Program.
NOP.
The NOP.
Hi, good morning. I'm calling to just question what we are doing to protect our organic crops from contamination from genetically engineered crops that are coming on down the pike here.
Great question.
Good question, Laura.
I'll
Miles?
take my answer off the line.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, well, that's part of the certification process. An organic grower that's growing a crop that could be contaminated from GMOs needs to have systems in place to prevent contamination. So,
Miles.
How did we do that?
That is Monsanto's mantra you just fell into. I'm sorry, but we're responsible for their pollen getting on our farm is how you...
Yeah, I'm responsible for making sure that organic crops meet the standard.
I understand.
And so GMOs are not part of that. And therefore, given the laws that exist in the land at this point,
right,
organic growers need to make sure that they're not contaminated by genetic drift. And there's a number of different things that they do to make sure that they're not. And that's distances, buffer zones. They work in most cases, very cooperatively with their conventional neighbors to make sure that contamination does not occur. There's planting dates that you can play with. You can play with different varieties. It is a concern, and contamination does occur, but for the most part, the system preventative practices are the way to go. GMOs are here in the United States. There's many farmers, family farms that depend upon biotechnology as their way of life. Just like there's many organic farmers out there. So they both should be respected.